The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Ablesys webinar. Ron here. We'll take a look at the different charts, different time frames, swing trading, day trading, scalping, whatever you like. Able Trend pretty much has everybody covered. It just depends on whatever style you like. I mean, the software works the same for all markets and all time frames. So it doesn't matter what you like, whatever your style that you like. You can definitely pull up multiple charts because we always put 2 time frames in one chart. That's what it gives us a big advantage and makes it work so well. Really filters out a lot of false signals that way. So it prevents or gives us a heads up in choppy markets. That's what's so good about the double time frames. And we don't trade until, because we only want low risk trades, we don't trade until both time frames are in agreement. So in this case, this is an IWM, the Russell Index, which is just absolutely on fire at all-time highs. I showed this one a couple of weeks ago, and as you can see here, we had the buy signal right there. Well, you need to have the higher time frame first, so you need that blue arrow. You need to have the higher time frame first. Whether you're day trading, swing trading, it doesn't matter. You need to have that big arrow, because this is the daily buy signal. It's blue. You just want the colors to all be the same. That's the most important thing. Sometimes people forget that. You have to have the colors the same. Any mix of red or blue, vertically, no trade. Just stay away. Like right here, that's a perfect no trade zone. Just means leave it alone. The 2 time frames disagree with each other. So that's when the markets tend to be choppy. So right here, last week, we had a buy signal. The price was 204. You got the blue bar. We've got the big blue dot. Really important are the little dots. That gives us the direction. If they're blue, it means they're going higher. Now we got blue arrows on the daily chart. You got everything lined up perfect here. So this was a screaming buy signal here at 204, and a week later at 211. You know, option traders, I mean, they love this because I mean that's a big move, especially you have call options on that. And you say, okay, well I missed the beginning, I didn't have it then, I didn't know about this one. When can I get in? When the prices pull back to the dots. Not until then, since this ship's already sailed. But when the prices pull back to the dots, that's when you can get into the trade. Now you're not going to get in at the low. You missed the beginning, but you can definitely get into the trade. Okay, let me switch this over to ARKK. Just one of my favorite ETFs that I like. I mean, just an absolutely fantastic trend here, getting in at 104, and finally when it closes under the second row of blue dots. We don't get out until it closes under the second row of blue dots. So out at 31 from 104, I mean, in only a few weeks, boy, that's a big time move. No trade zone here. There's that red and blue mix together where it says, software saying stay away, and then back in again over here at 136 last week, and we're already up to 141. Now, if you missed the beginning of this, or you didn't have the software back then, look, every time it hits the blue dot, bounced off and it went up. Hit the blue dot, bounced off, it went up. Again there. So these are great places to buy if it's already in a trend, meaning if you missed the beginning already, those are fantastic places to get into the trade if you happen to have missed the beginning. And this is great for swing trading stocks only. This is for swing trading stocks only during normal market hours. Yeah, I'm East Coast time. I'm on the East Coast, so it's 9:30 to 4 o'clock East Coast time, 6:30 to 1 Pacific, just wherever you are in the world. It just goes by your time frame. So pretty good stuff and super accurate, which is great. Now, it's going to be losing trades. There's no perfect system. I can guarantee you that. And there's certainly risk in trading also. But the software has just been absolutely killing them. For years, too. It's not like, we had a lucky year or a lucky month. Anybody could do that. I mean, how many software companies given a buy and sell signal every second of the day are still in business 25 years later? In fact, better than ever. I think you'll like what you see here. So, and I'm always glad to help too, so you get great support. Okay, right over here at the open, I don't normally like to trade the open, but I just want to show you what a trade looks like in case you want to trade the open. Doesn't count what I like, but I can just say that I normally would wait the first few minutes, 5 or 10 minutes, until the market settles down, because there's a volume explosion at the 9:30 New York Open. I mean, it usually makes a powerful move one way or the other. Just got to be a little careful because it could be, could reverse. But for those who do like to trade at that time, or let's just say this was the middle of the day, this is what you want to look for. My job is to show you what to look for on your chart so you know how to use the software effectively for profit. And there's the big blue bar with the blue dot. There's the 1 minute buy signal. There's the 2 minute buy signal. And the big arrow is the 3 minute buy signal. Wow, you've got everything just screaming at us. The software can talk and be yelling at us to buy right there. It's quadruple confirmation. I mean, you got a pile of odds stacked in our favor. Now, this is for day trading, the trend trading chart. Trend trading. This is not the scalp chart. I'll get to that thirdly. But this is the trend trade, meaning I like to stay in trends for maybe, 30 minutes, an hour or two could be, but there's going to be a massive amount of volatility. This is the mini Nasdaq, works just as fine for the mini S&P or the mini Russell. The S&P tends to be a little choppier, so we like the Nasdaq, but I'd say second best one would be the mini Russell. You don't need as much margin. It's a little calmer. That might be more your style. This is a 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute combination. I've got 3 time frames all combined onto one chart, and the dots and the arrows are what's most important because we had a big time move right at the open, shoots up. Now, we don't exit until we get 2 green bars in a row after we're already in profit. If we're not in profit, we don't use the 2 green bars. We put the stop loss on the second lower row of small blue dots below the price. But it shoots up real quick. There's 2 greens in a row. We put the stop just a point or two below the bottom of the green bar, and then we'd be out over there. But, that worked out nice because that was a 15-point winner. 15 points is $300 in 10 minutes. Again, just assume if you didn't trade the open, I totally understand that because I'm a little hesitant to do the same, but that's okay. Just assume this is the middle of the day. I just want to show you what to look for on the chart. This is a perfect sell signal, triple confirmation sell signal. Red bar, red 1 minute sell signal, red 2 minute sell signal, red 3 minute sell. Everything is red. Again, the colors are all the same. Shorted. And wow, what a trade. That one just shot down like a rocket. Okay, now again, same rule as before. If you missed the beginning of the trade, get in at the sweet spots. Look, every time it hit the red dots, bounced off and it went lower. Did it again here. The first sweet spot is usually the safest or the lowest risk. So I would always recommend the first one. The second one, you just have to be a little more careful. We'll leave that part up to you. Look at this massive no trade zone. I mean, look at this choppy mess right in here. I don't care who you are. Nobody won during that period unless you just, you got dumb lucky. And I mean, anybody could flip a coin and get lucky, of course, too. But look at that massive choppy mess. How'd we do? Great. We weren't in it. Nothing but red and blue. Red arrows pointing down, blue arrows pointing up. Again, red and blue on the chart at the same time. Run. Sit on your hands. No trade. Here's a triple confirmation sell signal, which went down very fast, but just as quickly popped back up. Here's our 2 greens in a row. Stop loss goes right above it, and right there we were stopped out for just a small winner. Okay, so this is basically how we do it. Rolling right along. Here's our triple confirmation buy signal. Let's call that a break. It might have been a small winner. Actually, it was a winner because here's the 2 greens after we're in profit of at least 10 points. If I don't make 10 points on the trade, then we're not going to use the 2 green bar stop. And again, this is strictly for the mini Nasdaq. It's the same rules apply, but we're looking at the Russell, or it's $50 a point, and the S&P is also $50 a point. Moves a lot slower. There's our 2 greens. Stop out is right there. Pick up 10 points, $200 in 10 minutes. The software gave to you, me, and everybody who uses it. And then here was the big one. Now, you only normally get 1, sometimes 2 really good trends a day. If you pick up a big giant move like this, you know what? I wouldn't blame you for saying, you know what, shut it off. And I made a pile of money here today. Fantastic day. Good enough for me. Because it's not generally normal to get 2 or certainly not 3 big moves like that. Usually after a big move, it can be quite sideways. Market or choppy because the market has to digest that. But here is an absolutely classic, perfect textbook triple confirmation trade. Red bar, and by the way, a small red bar, when I say small from top to bottom, a short red bar or a short any bar is always a lower risk bar to enter the trade. A longer bar is a little more risky because that means there's a lot of volatility going on in that 1 minute. Well, the shorter the bar, the better the trade. And that was just absolutely perfect right here. If you missed that one, we wanted to add to the position, there's your perfect sweet spot. Red bar, red dot, red 2 minute, red 3 minute sell signal. I mean, it just doesn't get any better than that. That is just a massive amount of Able trend indicators all coming through together and saying to short it at the same time. There's the 2 greens. We got stopped out a minute later. And from there to there, it was a 100-point winner. That's a $2,000 winner Able trend gave to all of us. You, me, everybody who uses it and is very disciplined and follows the rules very strictly, which are only a couple of simple rules that I'm talking about, would have nailed $2,000 per one contract that you trade. Sweet move right there. That's a big one. No trade zone here. There's our triple confirmation buy signal. No, actually it's right here. We didn't have the 3 minute. That's only the 2 minute. You need the big arrow. So technically speaking, there's the trade. Battle break even. Another buy signal there. 2 greens are up here. Small winner. No, we'll be stopped out. Let's take worst case scenario. Stop, out over there, small winner. And then the rest of the day, would be the same. We would view it the same way that I just said. Okay, now here's the mini mini Nasdaq scalp chart. Totally different chart, totally different philosophy. We're just looking for 5 points because every 5 points is $100 on the scalp chart. And it's very simple rules, much easier than the other charts that I just talked about. All we have to do is hit an arrow, close under it, or even between the arrow. Close under anything red, like right there, right there, right there. And if it goes down 5 points, we're a winner. That's actually a trade also, which is right at the because it has the big dot and the arrow together. 1 minute later would be a winner. It's $100. This is a losing trade. Actually, we had 3 losers in a row. Don't see that too often, but I want to just show that, because that's the fair way to do it. We're talking about real life trading here. So that's why I purposely wanted to show this right here. Because with the stop, 2 points above the red dot. That's very unusual, but it did happen. Then we came back with a winner here, hits the blue dot, closes right above it, and 1 minute later, we got our 5 points, we got a winner. So that was okay there. And then we rolled along, and now when you're really tight in here, where there's red dots and blue arrows, but just leave that alone. Just leave that alone. It's too tight. You need room for it to go up to make your 5 points. Same thing in here. It's too tight. When I say tight, I mean the red and the blue are almost right on top of each other. Here was the big move, of course, to the downside. Again, too tight here. Even though those are winning trades, just a little too tight. That's a winning trade. Hits a blue dot, and 1 minute later, went up 5 points, winner. That's a losing trade. And because we put the stop 2 points under the blue dot, so we lost 3 points on that trade. Winning trade here, hit the red dot, 1 minute later, went down, 100-point winner. Hit the red dot, went down 5 points, again, 1 minute later, 100-point winner. So we hit a bunch in a row, made up for that earlier shaky start. Then we hit a whole bunch in a row right here. Hit the blue dot, went up 5 points, winner. Hit the blue dot, went up 5 points a minute or two later, winner, $100. Hit the blue dot here, 1 minute later, went up 5 points, winner again, another $100. Hit the blue dot, 2 minutes later, went up 5 points, another $100. So we really got on a big time roll, hit about 5 or 6 in a row, which means $500 or $600 and $100, because every time you win, it's $100 even. So that's a nice piece of change right over there. There's another winner. There's a losing trade right here. There's a winning trade right there. So you get the picture from here. I want to also show you the Russell, because I really like the Russell. Really big fan of the Russell, both trend and scalp. But this is the scalp chart, because some people just don't have a lot of, have very small accounts. They don't have a lot of margin. They don't have a lot of money in their account. So you need more margin. Now on the Russell, we're only going for 5 points. NQ, we go for I'm sorry, Russell, we only go for 1 point, and Q, we go for 5. So it's $50 every time you get 1 point on the Russell. Why? Because it's a much slower moving market. But that could be a good thing because you might like it a little calmer market. That's fine. We start off with a losing trade there and then come right back with a winning trade right there. Again, every time we win, it's $50. Then very next trade would be right there. Not these. They closed under the blue dots. This is a trade right there. Hits the blue dot. Very simple rule. Hits the blue dot, closes above it. We hit the buy market button. 1 minute later, we got the 1 point, $50 winner. Hits the blue dot. 1 minute later, $50. Hits the blue dot, closes under it, put your stop loss 1 point under the blue dot. We lost 2 points on that trade. Hits the blue dot, hits the blue arrow, I should say, right between the arrow, and a minute later, we got our 1 point. Hits the red dot, closes under it. 2 minutes later, another $50. So really good day on the Russell today. It was a really good day. We're averaging 2 winners out of every 3. And it's extremely low risk because we're only in the market for a minute or 2. It's like 20 trades a day. We're only in the market for maybe 40 minutes, maybe 2 minutes a trade. 40 minutes out of 6.5 out of 390 minutes. So it's very low risk. And even when we lose, we're going to lose a couple points because we put the stop loss 1 point above the red dot or 1 point below the blue dot for the E-mini Russell. For the Nasdaq, we use 2 points. It's a different calculation. And every time here, hit the red dot, a minute later, we got our point, $50. Just do that all day long. None in here, no trades in here. Didn't hit the blue or red dots in there. That's the way we do it. We just do that all day long. Hits the red dot, closes under it. 1 minute later, we got 1 point, another 50. Hits the red arrow, closes under the arrow. Not these two, they closed above it. This one here closes under the red arrow. A minute later, 1 point, $50. Just do this all day long. Hit the blue dot. Today was a great day for the mini Russell on the scalp chart. 1 minute later, you got your 1 point, winner, 50. Hit another trade right here, winner. Hit the blue dot. 2 minutes later, winner. Hit the red dot, closed under it. 1 minute later, another winner. Just a big time day today, trading the scalping the Russell. And then you just, same thing all day long. Okay, let me get to a couple of quick questions before we call it a day. Okay, I got to go through these quickly. 3 minutes down on 9:30, didn't come in until after the red bar. If you click the 3 minute, okay, Michael, okay, that could be, yes, sir. I find on the short bars, the 3 minute disappears quickly. I miss those. I find sweet spots a lot less risky. Yeah, I love the sweet spots. I love the short bars. Yep, I have to say, I love the short bars. It's lower risk. Short bars are great. Michael, when we're scalping on the pullbacks, does it pay to get out with 5 points and let the other ride? We don't play with the rules, Michael. We just 5 points, we hit it, we're out, we wait for the next trade. I find that to be the best way. But if you want to tweak something, anybody wants to tweak something, certainly you can tweak something that you may like, but you want to stick at least to 80 and 90% of those rules. You want to, they're there for a reason and they're consistent for a long time. This is not some flash in the pan here. This is consistency. There's nothing more important than that. Harry asks, what's the significance of the color of the small dots in the scalp chart? It's the same thing as the small dots and everything. Any small dots, everything in Ablesys, Harry. The small dot is the 1 minute buy or sell, 1 minute support and resistance. Blue is support. That's why the prices come down. Hit the blue dot, bounce off it and go up. Hit the blue dot, bounce off it and go up. Hits the red dot or the red arrow, bounces off it and goes down. So red is down, blue is up. That's very strong support and resistance. That's why it works so well. Phil, what are the scalping targets for YM and GC? Boy, Phil, don't know. 2 markets I never look at. Never even, frankly, heard anybody else ask me that question in all the years here. Just not 2 very popular markets. Have to think about that one. GC, tough one to trade. YM, same way. Those are 2 choppy markets, so I never look at those. Trading is hard enough. I like to make it, try and make it. Of course, we all want to make it as easy as possible, although it's most certainly not easy. I think that the NQ and the RTY are much easier markets, much more profitable than YM and GC. So that's the reason I just don't look at those, because those are much more difficult markets to win, and trading's tough enough. Do the micros work with scalping? It's the exact same chart, Phil, but no, it's not going to be worth your while, because the micros, you're only making like $2 instead of, you're only, let's say if you get 5 points in the micros on an NQ, you make $10. You get 5 points on a normal, you got $100. So no, it's not worth it to trade the micros. The micros would only work with the trend trading, because you need to make bigger profits. Otherwise, it's not worth your time. It's not worth putting up that kind of money when we trade to make literally nickels and dime, very small money. So it wouldn't be worth that. You're welcome, Phil. Yeah, consistency is more important than hitting the home runs, Michael. That's for sure. So that's that's just how I'm all about Able Trend, and it's just been so good for all this time, and just keep at it. Just got to be like a robot. That's the hardest part. It's the part that when we get our emotions get involved, that's where we all get in trouble. And that's why the software works so great. And so many people, literally thousands, will tell me, they look back afterwards and they go, why didn't I just listen to the charts? Sometimes we all, and believe me, I know the feeling, we all let our emotions get in play. And that's where we all lose. The software has no emotion, and your thoughts or my thoughts couldn't even come close to comparing to the accuracy of these algorithms. So, and they have no emotions, and the algorithms are really, really accurate and helpful. So the more we can use them and lean on them and just stick to the rules, by far, the better we'll all do. So thanks for being here, everyone. I hope I was helpful. Have a good night.